Hey cats, what's happening? I'm drawing up some little plans here. I got a project going on. I need to build a little piece of furniture for in the house, something that I need. Um, but anyway, today is a beautiful day. It is actually a beautiful day for a bike ride. Beautiful day for a bike ride. Now, normally, today, I would be riding up to Sandusky for Ohio Bike Week. And I'm not going to do that this year. Um, I, I guess I'm going to have to make excuses. I don't need to make excuses, but yeah, I gone up there for the past number of years, and I don't know. It's probably hour and a half, 2 hour ride. I don't remember. It's a little bit of a ride, but nothing that isn't strenuous or hard to do. And I could definitely ride up there today by myself. In the past, I've ridden up there with a group of cool guys, and we've had a decent day up there. But to me, um, this year I just have had a bunch of other priorities. Uh, but really, when I go up there, I just don't find it to be extremely fulfilling. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It just seems to me like there isn't a whole lot going up there. And there is. I mean, if you it depends on what your interests are. Number one, the Harley Davidson dealership is, a big event there. And they have the strip mall parking lot just full of vendor tents with selling everything from A to Z, plus fair food. So, there's that. Uh, and of course, you can go inside the dealership and look at, buy a T-shirt or look at new bikes or whatever. But yeah, it just doesn't not high on my list of exciting things to do. Uh, and then if you ride on up to the lake shore, the actual event there, probably a 2, 3 block area. Uh, they had the bike show, custom bike show, and there's usually maybe 20, 25 bikes there that are set up for you to look at. And a lot of times you'll see the same bikes that you've seen before. And again, there's vendor tents, there's food vendors. Um, it just, to me, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me right now. So I've decided to skip that. Now, they do have some saloons up there, but some of you know that I'm not really into the drinking. So I'm not going to sit around in a saloon shoulder to shoulder with people. I mean, they're jam-packed with people, and suck down beers, and then, have to figure out how I'm going to ride home. The other thing, that the main event, they have a big, huge sound stage right on the shoreline there. Right behind it is Lake Erie. And they have headline bands there in the evening. And if I were to stay for that concert, it doesn't start till, I think, 7:30, and then it goes on till after dark. And then you have to ride home in the dark, which, that to me would be very, very stressful for me to ride all the way from Sandusky back here in the dark. Um, Too nerve-wracking. At my age, I do not like riding at dark anymore. Now, the other thing that I totally consider is with the concerts. I don't go to concerts anymore. And the reason that I don't is because I see these concerts almost as kind of like a heathen worship. When I was growing up and I was like 15, 16 years old, I started getting into rock music, and I loved listening to rock music. There was a local station in Cleveland, WMMS, that I swore by. I listened to it religiously. And a lot of the music that they were playing was cutting edge rock and roll, and a lot of it was coming from Britain, from England. So you had, the Rolling Stones and those kind of bands that were coming from England, David Bowie. But there was a couple bands that, I kind of favorited, and I liked, to sing along or, play air guitar to their music when it would come on. And I bought their record albums. I had hundreds of record albums. But one day somebody said to me, did you ever listen to the lyrics to that song? And, not particularly. No, do you know what those lyrics mean? Not, I really haven't paid that much attention to it. I just kind of took it with a grain of salt. It's just a rock song. No, those what the guy's singing about is blatant homosexual activity. I was like, boy, am I naive. I'm singing this song, and I'm not homosexual by any means and never plan on being homosexual. But, I thought to myself, good grief, why am I singing this? And the song took on a whole different meaning at that point. But, a lot of these rock bands and the bands that are going to be playing at Bike Week, you listen to the lyrics, and sometimes the lyrics that they're singing don't really project the way you actually feel. So, you're standing there and they're up on the stage and people are cheering and their hands are in the air and they got their Bic lighters going, or now they use cell phones. They just, I don't know, they got different apps on cell phones that you can do concert, look like a little candle burning or a strobe or something, and you can flash those around at the stage and the whole audience does that. And to me, it's kind of a pagan worship, like you're worshiping the guys up on the stage, and you're doing that, and yet the stuff they're singing, it could even have satanic overtones or evil overtones, drugs and sex and things that you may not be completely on board with. So why are you standing there listening to that and yeah, that's me. That's my thoughts anyway. So that's another reason that I won't go to, the concert shows anymore. And I know they do have some Christian bands out there, some really good ones that play too, but I won't even go to those because I see the same thing. I see people almost worshiping the guy that's singing there rather than focusing on the Lord, which is my priority. So, yeah, no OBW this year. But I do have plans to go on another biker event that's not really far from here, but I think I'll kind of put together a little thing like that with some people that might be interested to go on that ride. But I'll post something about that coming up here probably next month. So, in the meantime, as far as the bike goes, I've been getting out and getting some good rides in. I'll probably ride tomorrow, get out early in the morning and head out on the road, but not today. I'm going to focus on my project here. I don't know. I've always been into carpentry work, and I've salvaged a lot of things. But look at this. I got this old piece of a barn truss. It still has the peg in there. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to actually cut this up. There's no other use for it, but it's the lumber. And then I have a stock, different stocks of lumber. I've got some lumber up there. I've got a bunch of more quality lumber in the basement. Like I found this oak down there. I found a couple pieces of nice oak, so that's going to be perfect for what I'm going to do. There's cedar down there, there's chestnut, there's some cool lumber down there, but not really enough to do a project with. But I think I'll have enough here to do exactly what I need to do. And as I continue with the project, I'll kind of, let you guys see kind of my progress and what I'm doing with it. I'm not going to film the actual work because, there's a lot of measuring, cutting, sanding, and it's just a long process. That'd be kind of hard to get on video, and this isn't a carpentry channel, so I'm not going to do that. But I'll show you my progress as I go along. But as far as the bike goes here recently, I've had 2 offers to re-up, join a motorcycle club / organization. Got to be careful what you call these things nowadays, because the MCs, which MC stands for Motorcycle Club, they kind of take priority over the title club, and you can't call your motorcycle group a club unless you are, in their legal grounds for being able to use that term. And it just gets real complicated. Too many rules for me. But I've opted out. I'm not ready to join any kind of an organization or club. I don't need that structure, because it is a lot of structure. Aside from that, it's, there's rules to follow, there's schedules that have to be followed, and I don't want to do it. The one guy said, well, you don't have to really put that much into it, and I said, no, wait a minute. If I'm going to join a club or an organization, it's my duty to give it my all, not just give it a 10%. That isn't the way it works. You join an organization to give it your all, because it's what you stand for. It's what you live for. I don't have the time or the gumption to do that anymore, I don't. I'm looking back in all the years, probably 5 different motorcycle clubs or organizations that I've either been somewhat affiliated with or rode with, or was actually a patched member of. Years past in my past life, and I'm unwilling to do that again now. I'm 70 years old. I like doing my own thing. I like the freedom of being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and not have to follow some protocol, that somebody else has set. If you are into joining a club or an organization, I don't know, some of you young guys, I know that when I was young, I really had big ambitions of being a Hell's Angel, and those days are long gone. Not my interest anymore. I mean, that's when I was young and naive, but there's so many different organizations and clubs out there that you could join or affiliate with. There's clubs out there for police officers, for firemen, for military, for veterans. There's religious Christian motorcycle groups. Just about anything you can think of, you can probably find a club. I mean, there's clubs for women too. If you're a female and you're looking for a club to ride with, there's plenty of clubs out there for ladies too. But again, it's something that has structure, and a good club or organization, to be a part of that, you really have to give of yourself. If I was going to do that, I would join a church, and give my time to a church, but I haven't made the commitment to do that either. Once in a while I do go to church, and I don't go to the same. Sometimes I'll try a different church just to see, whether it fits my, my line of thought or whatever. And I really haven't found one that, that I can really put my all into, that I feel like it's home, like people that I can trust. I just haven't found that yet. So, yeah, I stay independent from everything right now. I don't like joining stuff. In fact, Val and I, got involved with a church years ago, and it started out really nice. We thought, wow, we really like this. I mean, they had a nice, big sound stage in front of the church, and they had a band of young people that were really good. They had guitarists, they had a drummer, they had keyboards, and they had a couple girls up there that could sing like canaries. We really enjoyed it, and we went there a lot, and we started getting involved in. They offered classes that we could take. So Val says, what do you think about that? I said, yeah, okay, let's try it. So we went to the one class, and it was, I don't know, it was like a 6-week class. And we finished that, and they said, okay, now you can go take the next class. And so we took the next class. And by the time we got to like the third class, they started asking a lot of us, things that we were uncomfortable with, that we weren't on board with, things that we didn't sign up for. In fact, in one situation, the guy wanted us to sign a contract. Val and I said, wait a minute, we're not signing any contracts. We're just going to church. Why do we have to sign a contract? I mean, I don't want to be legally bound to anything here. This is a cult or something? Not interested. So we bailed. We never went back, sadly, because for the beginning there, we really enjoyed it, but then it got kind of weird, and that's when we had to step out. So yeah, I'm fine just to be solo, to do my own thing, to ride when I want to ride, to ride with who I want to ride, and to actually enjoy life at my own pace, without having to worry about meeting schedules or breaking a rule or, yeah. Well, guys, thanks for watching me today. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your prayers, and I pray for you guys too, for each one of you. If you got specific needs, put it in the comments down below, and I'll pray for you. I know we all have our cross to bear. We all have our burdens that we carry. I know I got my own right now too. But I appreciate your prayers, and like I said, I pray for you guys too. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit me that thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't yet, and continue to join me on this ride. Every Thursday night, 8 o'clock, every Sunday night, 8 o'clock. Lord willing, I keep trying to push them out. People have asked me before, how do you keep coming up with stuff twice a week? I don't know. Sometimes the good Lord just puts ideas in my head and I go with it. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Oh, one more thing before I leave. I just have to show you how nice my yard looks. I mowed yesterday, and I think it looks like a resort. I should be entertaining people here more than I do. Maybe one day I'll figure out how to do that. Till next time, cats, I'll catch you later. I'm going to get busy on my woodworking project here.